the electorate. But the Ghanaian electorate is a discerning electorate.
Tonight we scrutinize the details of this latest survey and hear from NDC and the NPP.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services, your success, our passion, Belacra Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water, as well as myjoyonline.com. The NDC is dismissing it, but the NPP affirms the results are not new to its monitors. I am talking about the latest marketing social research international survey that claims the NPP will win the December elections by 52%. Now, the NDC, according to the research, will come crashing with 46.9% of the ballots. This has angered some executives of the NDC who simply label it as lacking credibility. We will shortly hear from the Deputy General Secretary, George Lossing, but let's first examine the specific details of this report. I'm joined in the studio by my colleague, Elton John Brobe. Thank you very much, Elton, for joining us here on Top Story. Now, was there any indication in this particular report why they believe that the NDC is going to trail the NPP, basically, and then the NPP is going to win?
No, Evans, there's no clear indication aside clearly stating that the NPP will win by 52%, while the NDC will trail by 46.9%. But I must state that you can simply infer why they had that outcome. For instance, the survey showed that the NPP will get majority of the Christian vote with 56% against the NDC's 40%. The NDC's votes would mostly come from Ghana's Islamic and traditional religions. The NDC is set to win about 63% of the Muslim votes against the NPP's 39%. The same trend is expected to be repeated among voters in the traditional religion, where the NDC would get over 60% of the votes. On age grounds, the survey shows that older voters of between 50 to 100 years are likely to be going for the NDC at an average of 53% of the total votes, whilst the more populous youthful voting segment of between 18 years and 49 years will be rooting for the NPP with a lead of about 55% over its rival.
Essentially, older people will vote for the NDC, while younger people will vote for the NPP. But how many people does the survey engage?
Well, Evans, sample size of 4,600 people across different demographics in the country. Now, the research was conducted between September and October this year across all the 230 constituencies in Ghana. It had a confidence level of 98% with a minimum margin of error of 1.8%, plus or minus in the survey.
Thank you very much, Elton John Brobe, my colleague, helping us understand the specifics of this particular survey that was put out today by the group. Let me get your name correctly here. They are a group that basically does research into these things regarding elections. And let's speak right now, the Marketing Social Research International. Let's speak now to the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, who's joining me on the line right now, Mr. George Lossing. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Top Story. Does the survey reflect, if you may, the reality on the ground for you? How much value are you placing on it?
You can the survey speaks for itself. What the breakdown? Just look at what the breakdown talks about. It tells you this is not a credible survey, portraying the NDC as a non-Christian party, and because of the mess up of some Christian leaders. So, and what is going the brouhaha between the NDC and the crestfallen pastors that recently. And I mean, looking at what the breakdown tells you, this is not a credible distance. And again, by the end of what we call October, we had 275 constituencies. How come the survey was conducted in only 230 constituencies? So that's one way. That's another thing to tell you that that's not a credible distance. This is just something that, because, a dying horse, if somebody is dying, the person struggles. And again, if you follow the U.S. elections, the same Republicans, the conservatives like the NPP, the same, the national polls, they gave all to Romney that Obama was trailing, though it was neck and neck. Anytime Obama, or maybe Romney has 48, Obama 47, Romney 49. But at the end of the day, what was the outcome? For the Electoral College, it was a landslide for Obama. And then he took the popular vote. We are going to do the same to the NPP.
Some have suggested that if you read the part of the poll that talks about the Christian vote, for example, some pundits have suggested that if you consider the NDC's recent ensuing row between itself and the church, epitomized by the Otabil saga, this poll accurately reflects what the pundits are saying, that it might affect you in the long run.
Not at all. We are not at war with or in conflict with any church. It's a personality who messed up himself, who exposed himself. That is it. It's not that we are at war or we are not at war with any church. It's a personality who messed up himself, calling us evil. A man of God calling our party evil. And you know, Christ even never called people evil. But if you're a representative of God on earth and you call people evil, call them names, then, I mean, it talks so much about you yourself. So we have not attacked any church. We have even not attacked any man of God. As a man, the man of God who really attacked the party, calling us all sort of names. We have not called him any name. We only played what he played back, what the Educational Watch played back what he said. Just like playing back what Nkrumah said before, playing back what JFK said before. Now today they are playing back what somebody said, and they said it's a criminal offense.
Stay on the line for me, Mr. Lawson, because I've been joined by your colleague, the General Secretary of the NPP, Kojo Friye, who's also joining me right now on the line. Thank you, sir, Mr. Friye, for your time. Does the survey, you've been traveling across the country campaigning, does it reflect the reality on the ground as far as the NPP is concerned?
Yes, it does. We have been on the ground. We do note particularly that the youth have taken to the New Patriotic Party in the large numbers. Wherever you go to, the number of young men who attend our meetings are incredible. They are there in their numbers, and I have always looked at that and said that this election is going to be won largely in that direction, especially so when this election is about the youth and it is about their future. And so because it is about their future, they have taken to the New Patriotic Party that offers hope and that offers them the jobs.
But Mr. Friye, Mr. Friye, it's also true that this survey says that you will lose the votes of Muslims, you lose the votes of those who practice African traditional religion. That certainly cannot be positive.
Well, I mean, what is important is the fact that especially say the Pentecostals are growing, at a faster pace than all religions that we have in this country. And so, if you have the Christian votes, very reasonable and respectable number of the Muslim votes, it is good for us. And I have looked at the NDC, their insults to the churches, especially when Toniedu described the Pentecostals, those who speak in tongues, as mad people. When Asebin Gatia attacked the Methodist, the Presbyterian clergy, and now Otabil is also there, for the passion. All these have not yet reflected, because this survey is between September and October.
Yeah.
And all these incidents happened in November. So I'm sure that even when you have the November polls, it will even sway more of the Christians to our side. Again, if you, the inroad that we've made into the Muslim community have not yet reflected, gauge on the fact that Dr. Bawumia is doing so well up north and elsewhere. And so we are satisfied that the numbers that we're seeing, especially of the youth and women, are all very indicative of the things that we know on the ground. And so we are very happy.
Mr. Lawson,
this is addressing the point.
Mr. Lawson, still with me on the line. You heard the submissions by your colleague, General Secretary from the NPP. Is this something that you want to work on as far as this relationship with the church is concerned, or you think that you can trust in your Muslim votes and in your religious, African traditional religious votes, as indicated by this particular survey?
We have no problem with any church. The fathers, politicians are supposed to be accountable. Likewise, men of God are also supposed to be accountable. If a man of God misbehaves or misconducts himself, are you saying we should not let him know? If you misconduct yourself, that doesn't mean if you're a man of God, you should misconduct yourself. If you misconduct yourself, yes. But we don't have any problem with any church. But again, if we're talking of attracting of the youth, we attract the youth more than they do. They are just living in a fool's paradise. The way they Romy, where it was being fooled on cajole that people were this, that. At the end of the day, it was visible after their polls.
In other words, we should dismiss this poll.
No. This, with a pinch of salt, it's not a credible poll for us to talk about. We're just wasting our time talking about this poll. It's not a poll that we need to waste our time debating or deliberating upon. But the fact is fine. If they want to live in a fool's paradise, let them live in the fool's paradise. Come December 7th, we are going to carry the day. The youth that they are talking, don't you see our presidential candidate, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or wherever he goes? He attracts more youth than their flag bearer.
I see. Thank you,
and
sir.
Again, today they are telling us Bawumia is up north. Are you saying Muslims are only up north? What is he saying?
Thank you very much.
And the northern part of Ghana is full of Muslims. We have Christians as well there.
And obviously this debate will go on as to whether we can trust this poll or not and who indeed will eventually win. The main verdict will be pronounced on December 7th. But I'm grateful for you for your time here on Top Story. Sir John, the General Secretary of the NPP, could use a free proper name. Also speaking to us is George Lawson, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. I'm grateful for your time, gentlemen. Coming up in 15 minutes, we have more politics for you. We'll be going across the country trying to test what is going on as far as the campaign is concerned. We have some 16 days to elections. This is your election headquarters. Again, you want to stay with us on Joy News at 8. We'll come your way again with a across the country look at the campaign so far. My name is Evans Mensah. Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services, the Success Our Passion, Belacra Mineral Water, the New Generation Mineral Water, as well as MyJoyOnline.com.